think I like this one the best.
Business Radicals, the hottest mastermind group online. Watch live 360 marketing makeovers. The Connect 360 show. Make sure you share this video now. Share the live video now. Share the video now and enter your chance to win with the Business Radicals. The Connect 360 show.
The Connect 360, where we show you how to grow your life and grow yourself real quickly. Yes, this is the spot where we tune you in and where you can grow your relationships, grow your game, and grow your business all at the same time. We bring professional authors, business owners, comedians, entertainers, just about anybody who's hustling and producing results. And we're going to show you how to create the solutions so that you can be able to apply it to your life and have fun at the same time. So you're in the right place. So just get tuned in or get left behind. Yeah, the Connect 360. Let's get into it and get this mission in motion. Yes, I'm moving. Yes, and I'm moving and I'm in the building right now. This is the Connect 360. Yes, where you can be plugged in immediately with all of the latest news, with entrepreneurship, brainstorming. You can get plugged in immediately. I am, yes, your host with the most. Jackson, addicted to action and making things happen. And right now, I am sitting with someone who's a very special guest. And what makes her special? Everything. Yes, she should have been on Dancing with the Stars. She could have been on America's Got Talent, but she chose to get bread instead. Right, and she is like shampoo because she stay on top of your girl's head because she owns one of the #1 hair salons in Chicago. Let's give it up for Miss Kiky, the one and only. Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Kiky. I do own Salon Heaven. We're on 15th in Michigan. Been there 12 years. We're about to get into some nitty gritty.
Yeah.
As a business owner and experienced woman.
Yes.
Of everything. But anywho.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So yeah, it's going to be an awesome show. We're going to definitely do our radical business makeover, and it's going to be amazing to have Kiky here is amazing. I mean, I know her salon. Definitely, her salon has been in the South Loop for over 10 years now. I mean, doing amazing things. So this is a person.
Full service. Yes. Ups and downs and all the way around, but we're Salon Heaven. Let me tell you, it's been a lifetime experience, and we give you heaven on earth, basically.
Yeah. Shout out to your brother too. I want to shout him out.
Oh, my brother Sherrod.
Yeah, Sherrod. Okay. Shout out to Sherrod. I was down at the Virgin Hotel at a silent listening party about a month or two ago. And I was like, I don't know if y'all familiar with these silent parties, but, you know, when you can't hear nothing, you walk in and just see people dancing, there's no music playing. And it was his event, you know, and I'm building with him. I'm like, man, I see you making moves. Mm-hmm. And before you know it, he's like, yeah, you know, I know. He's Kiky, you know, he's telling me he's in the hair game, and come to find out he's with you. So that's what's up.
Well, that's what's up. Yeah, definitely. The silent parties give you access to your own individual taste in music. That's a wonderful thing, yes. So you can keep it, you know, be happy at the party, right?
Definitely.
Yes,
good
concept. But,
that's kind of antisocial, right? The silent party.
Well,
you walking around with headphones on, and
how did it go? I mean, like
you know what? It was weird at first. It was weird because because you got, imagine you walk in a room and everybody, like, you might have somebody in front of you that's dancing and they wilding out, right? And you're listening to some slow music. You might be listening to some Trey Songz, and the person next to you is listening to some Luke, you know, 2 Live Crew, and so they twerking, they turned up, and now you looking like, okay, I want to figure out what they listening to. So it kind of gives you a more intimate opportunity to get to know people in a different way. I would say.
What are you listening to? Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you probably can tell by the way they're moving, all right?
You get an idea, you know, but with some of the white girls, you couldn't tell because they was wilding out. Their rhythm was a little off. I'm like, are we listening to the same thing right now? I don't think so.
Okay.
You know, shout out to all the white girls.
Everyone share this right now. You know, invite your people to check this out. Watch this on the Fresh Air Network page. I'm JC360, Justice 360. So we're pleasure to have a special guest with us today. We got brother Kavan over here. You know, the Dr. Dre behind the boards. So you all can't see him right now. But check us out every week at 7 o'clock. So, Jackson, what we're going to get into today? What you got cooking? Action, Jackson.
So if you look up the top, right on top of our head, you see the banner. It says the topic is mixing friends and pleasure with business. Now, the reason why I even got into this is because our followers, they were asking about it. This was a common question that we kept getting, was people were asking about, they were saying that, for example, people were saying they started business, they had a business, and they couldn't get support from the people that was closest to them. They were like, how can I get off the ground? And another question that was a common question was, it would be, for example, a person who's married, they want to start a business, but they said their family didn't support them. So there was a lot of struggles that was kind of common. So I said, not only should we address this topic and answer these questions, but I really wanted to bring in Kiky for this specific topic because I know you and your husband did some great things when your salon, when it initially started. You were in that situation.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I would say that, and from my perspective, starting a relationship, I would say that having a dedication to someone and knowing that you guys have each other's best interests would be the best way to start a business, you know. And it's better when, as you said, if you don't have that support of your family, that's really hard. You know what I'm saying? Because there's going to be times when you're not around and people have to pick up the pieces, and just a supportive environment so you could do the best that you can and not be stressed about the home front. You know. So, and with that said, I believe that people should form that union and then figure out what they could do to make their mark. And that would be the best environment for relationship and business. But it don't always go like that.
Yeah, it don't always go like that. That's the thing.
Yeah, there's there's definitely a flip side.
Yeah.
And we can go into that too.
I mean, because in marriage especially, I mean, marriage is a business contract essentially that you're entering into. So for me, when I'm even looking at a person that I'm dating, if I'm going to take them serious, I'm always thinking about if I was to pass or if I'm in the hospital, can this person, will they be able to hold it down while I'm in the hospital? So when I get out, because of course, eventually you want your business to be to a point where it doesn't matter if your spouse is there or not. You want to have your other business partners on it. But in some situations, it's about having a family business. So,
Well, yeah, you want it to, the point of any business is for it to become autonomous, where it can run itself.
Exactly. So
therefore, it's not taxing on time, effort, and it takes a lot to get there. Definitely, I definitely had my running hard. I had kind of, you run out of. Okay. By the way, everyone, 8 years ago, my husband, Julian Mitchell, a really great friend of Cavan's, actually, ironically, that we're here today. But on January 27th, 8 years ago, he was hit by a salt truck, so a semi-tractor trailer, as a city worker. And, we had 4 boys at home. I had 15 employees at work. We were working on a 2-flat, changing it to a single-family home, So we had a lot going on. But like I said, he lived about an hour or so, and we've been by ourselves ever since. So therefore, we had 4 great, stupendous years at Salon Heaven, and then that happened, and it's been a definite, where one of those things where God won't throw you too much you can't handle. So therefore I can handle a lot. So I'm proud to say, So therefore it's been ups, it's been downs, it's been burnouts, it's been, trying to formulate different partnerships since that loss. But 8 years, we've been going strong. So I'm very proud to say Salon Heaven is we're here to stay.
And where is it located?
It's 1505 South Michigan Avenue.
Same location the whole time.
Same location whole time. He wanted to do Michigan Avenue. He wanted to have the best. He wanted to have the Porsche. You know what I'm saying? Like everything had to be that way.
What would you say makes Salon Heaven different, in terms of the experience? What would you say?
Goodness, let me tell you.
That we were let me say something before we start. And it's along those lines what you was talking about the origin of it, and of course you guys coming together in a relationship and then doing the business at the same time. Julie and I was actually my best friend for years. And throughout that process of him even thinking about the Salon Heaven or opening up or even going to school.
Yes, I remember.
Prior to going that. I mean, and the reason I'm bringing up that is because Kiky was with him when he had to go to school first to get his understanding about his craft. Then the fact that he had a full-time job with the city still throughout that process, and to still have the wherewithal to do those things. And when you getting your hair license or whatever the term is, it's countless hours of that.
Grueling. And
before he did it, as we used to ride motorcycles and stuff, and he would stop riding motorcycles to actually go to school. And my point is that it's I don't want to say sacrifice, but it's adjustments that you make for your kids, for the people that you with, for your loved ones, for the legacy building process. So yes, he had some great ideas, and even like I said, back in that day, to want to have a salon on Michigan Avenue, that's pretty big,
Yeah, it is. That is. I mean, and some people, it
And you need
some
that
people-
support from your family. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know, you need people by your side. You need people who are gonna let you burn your hair out and just grow it again. You know what I'm saying? So I did that. I was a guinea pig. He was a construction worker. He didn't play with dolls. You feel me? You know. But when he said I was thinking about becoming a hairstylist, you know why? Because he saw this house, he saw this Porsche, and he was like, "These people are two hairstylists." He was just like, I like some of that."
Yeah,
You know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway, he came and he was just like, "What did you think about that?" I said, "That's what you hire, a hairstylist." I was just like, he was into the hair, the makeup, the clothes, the fabulousness. Okay.
You know, I want to say one thing about that real quick. Hair and cosmetology industry is one of the few industries in America where black people especially still have a lot of control in terms of ownership. I mean, we don't dominate the industry in terms of like manufacturing, but there's still that's the largest sector of small business owners are cosmetologists and barbers.
You know what? I have one thing to say about that. I know a hairstylist who's been with me probably 7-8 years. Okay, right now he's got a salon suite and everything, so he's around a lot of other ethnicities and demographics. They're doing different things, and they said your people like they
Hold on.
come here like every week.
Your people.
Yeah, no. What I'm just saying, he's saying like your clients. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? But he
okay.
wasn't like
It
like
wasn't
that.
racial
See,
or
it
nothing,
wasn't racial at all because guess what? He's Hispanic. Which is crazy. You know what I mean? He's Mexican. I thought he was Puerto Rican, but anyway, neither here nor there. He can cook his butt off. I love having him as a salon, having family, and the others noticed that the other workers, not other types of people.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
The other workers were saying like, your people come all the time, like every week, and he was just like, yeah, and he was just like,
Consistent,
you
yeah.
don't need that many clients, do you?
Exactly, because you got
'Cause the
consistent
white people had
clientele.
to do
Yeah,
the numbers of so many colors. They don't need their hair done.
right.
Not
Exactly.
really. So that's basically
They're more
and-
product based with the white market. That's what I've noticed. Is they make, it's funny, the industry
because they wash their hair themselves.
Right.
They need good stuff to wash their hair with. That's
Right.
about
So
it.
consistency
Color,
is key.
Yeah, consistency is key. What I'm saying it's a lucrative industry.
When you take care of your people,
When you take care of your people, you got to take care of your
that
people.
customer service.
Yes, and which brings me to what was our radical business idea today?
Yeah,
But anyway,
business-
we'll
Ding,
get
ding,
there.
Yeah, we're gonna
Ding,
get there.
ding,
We're gonna
ding.
radical business idea. It's
Radical
on the way.
business.
It's
Ooh,
on the way.
Customer service is
Yes.
look, you said the magic word today. Customer
Make
service.
sure
Thank
you
you, Mike.
all-
Oh no, Cavan said it. He said that customer service. You got to treat
Customer
people
service.
right. He said customer service.
Consistency in customer
All right.
service.
Okay, so
Cavan
that's
gets-
gonna be our
Cavan
word.
gets 2
Exactly.
points.
That's 2 points for Cavan.
Everybody share this right now.
Share this right
Share
now.
this on your
Plus two.
page. Invite your friends to check this out because we're going to get into the nitty gritty right here.
Yeah,
So we got Miss Kiky on here. She's going to tell you how to, get your business up and running.
How to get that.
How to get the paper.
How to get
Stable.
that thing done.
We
Stay
see you all. What's up? What's
Well,
up, Cuzzo Tanya?
Shout out to Lana as well, Tanya, cousin Tanya.
I see you all.
And,
Check us out.
And also, really quick, we got some questions that were sent in earlier, so let's get into some of the questions too. But before we do that, were you finna say something, Cavan? Okay. Before we do that, the word of the day, officially, Kiky just set it out, is going to be, it's kind of a phrase of the day, or the idea of the day.
No.
It's customer service.
Okay, no. I want to
Ding,
change the
ding,
word.
ding, ding,
Okay, I'm
ding,
changing the
ding.
word.
You gonna
in
change
about
the word of the
10
day?
minutes. Okay.
Okay, it's going to have another word of the
Yeah,
day.
it's going to relate to that.
Okay.
Okay.
So customer service is
Come
going
on,
to be
invite your
our
friends.
first
Check
word
this
of the
out.
day. All right. Serve
Yeah.
your customer
The
right.
word of the quarter of the conversation. Okay.
Okay, so speaking of now, when we say customer service, we're going to get into these questions. And when we say customer service, I don't know, it's not the same type of customer service as some of these questions that I have, because some of y'all ask some really relationship and intimate questions. So we're not talking about serving your customers in that kind of way. Okay, we're talking about keeping it professional.
Right.
All right, because this we're about to go into the mixing friends and pleasure with business section. And let's go to one of our first questions. So our first question, which is funny, it actually came from a hairstylist, and that's Kim. So she sent a message on Facebook, and she said, should you expect your friends and family to support your business? She said she just recently started up I guess, an MLM business.
What's
And
MLM?
multi-level marketing.
Okay.
Like associate, affiliate marketing, home-based businesses. We're working with a major company or a larger parent company, and I guess you sell, you sell the products as a marketer or direct sales. And I guess she's saying that she's struggling with getting support from her family. So the question was, should you expect your friends and family to support your new business? I got my responses, but I want to get y'all takes on it.
Go ahead, Kiky. What's your response on that?
Okay, I need to clarify the question because I'm always thinking about a lot of stuff. Okay, but basically, is she saying, as far as support, her friends and family supporting her business, does she mean like just helping watch the kids? Or we talking, are you actually a customer and shopping with me, or using your dollars and supporting that way?
She didn't clarify, but I think, but we can answer. Answer
both ways.
Yeah, both ways.
Both ways. Okay. All right. So, as far as family support, like I suppose,
That's a
that's
family
my
right there.
roommate. That's my roomie. We should
Okay.
put her on. Let's
Put on.
let's
See what she
listen.
talking about. Put on speaker. What's she talking about?
Hi. Oh wait, no. Wait. I'm sorry. What?
Live and direct.
Roommate. I told you that's my roomie.
Invite y'all friends and shit. Watch
Invite your
this, man.
friends,
Share this.
video,
Share this right now.
Video right
Yes,
now.
so listen. Hey, roomie, you on air. Check this out. I'm doing a show. I said, this is my roomie. Yes, we're on air.
On the Fresh Air Network.
You missed your roomie. Oh,
Tell her to go on the Fresh Air Network and check it out. She can check you out.
yeah, it's on Fresh Air Network. So, I log in on Facebook Live.
That's
Uh-huh.
Air with an E.
I love you too, sweetie. Okay, I'll call you back about that college money, girl. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, Romy.
All right, Romy.
My roomie and I are searching for college money. Both of our children want to go to U of I. That's our alma mater. Like I said,
Okay.
she's my roomie from college. Her name is Sharita. She married my really, really good friend, Kavan. Oh, my God, Curtis. Anyway, Curtis. And they've been together ever since. That's so sweet. But
Yeah.
anywho, there's some success stories out there, everybody. So anywho.
Black love is a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
right after Valentine's Day.
absolutely. And she still loves me. So, which brings me, well, no, we won't go to another word just yet. But you were asking
So yeah,
me
we were
about,
talking about getting support
yes,
from your friends.
support
She
from
said
your
she's-
friends and family. So that's a supportive friend. Now, I would say, some moral support. Like people can be real, perhaps negative sometimes, and kind of like, worry warts and all that. So you can get some support, like some pats on the back, some, you go girl, you know what I mean? That's very, very helpful, There's also the support of helping watch the children if you have children or something like that. Some people don't have family that like looks out for them like that. I was blessed enough to have so it's very important when you're trying to build an empire or do something great, or even small things are, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Are great steps. So I would say that's very, very important. And, even in a mate, you may not have that, even in your family and all, so it's just, I think that when you put out a lot of blessings, you will get that
you
back,
get it back.
you know what I mean? And you will get, and that's why I feel that I have been supported. And
So
such.
you-
and
so-
even in Julian's case, he wanted to become a cosmetologist. I now have Salon Heaven, right? Now he wanted to become a cosmetologist, and it was really Heaven Salon, so we wanted to have. That's
Put
what
them
we're
on the
working-
air, Jackson. Let's go.
Let's see who's
Hold on, one. We got it.
Put them on the
Hello,
air.
Kiafra. You're
we joining. It's a real social
hello?
experience.
hello. Are
Put
you?
them on speaker.
Is it?
We live and direct. We got Sankofa
Yeah, we're
Shay
live
on
and
the
direct.
line.
You might want to turn down your computer, but so
I'm gonna step away. I'm gonna step away now.
okay.
What's going
And-
on, Cadero?
Nah,
Cherie?
you know,
Okay. So
Click that share button and invite your people.
invite
Check
your
this
people.
out.
All right. So
If you want to be on the show, let us know.
what's the official name that you want to give? And what's your question?
Get him off the line. Let's go to the next call. Get him off the line.
I'm chiming
Next
in
call.
to let you brothers know that you sound good. Keep giving that good advice out there. Keep chopping up. information for the people. Share it with everybody. We want everybody to share. We can make this thing grow a little bit, and I'll check you brothers out later.
We appreciate the
Kid.
support, man.
All right, Sanko for Shay.
Sanko for Shay.
I heard they got
Appreciate
a good
that.
Shay whip at the CC360.
And but I would like one comment. Customer service is horrible on the South Side. The businesses that have good customer service are the businesses that's doing well. I'm out.
All right, peace, brother.
Yeah, really great point. I mean, customer service is
What's up,
everything.
Supreme Guns, what's up? Hey, what do you all think about customer service in our community? You know, leave some comments in the thread. You know, maybe you have some questions, you know, in regards to, you know, how we can improve on our customer service.
I think we should actually define what customer service is too, to some regards. I know it could be different from
everyone.
business to business, but at the same time, if you don't know what customer service is or what it looks like, then how do you know if you have it?
Right.
So one of the things that I know that we have, like the gentleman just said about categorizing the South Side as being a spot or a place that's not, you know, customer friendly. And we have to talk about those things. We have to actually have a culture behind it. And I'm sure that most people who are treated unfairly automatically say the customer service is bad. But can we start to talk about what definition is?
So in my opinion, when I think about customer service, I think about the entire experience that a customer has from when they first come in contact with your business, and period. Like once they come first in contact, even when they're not talking to you, when they're not communicating with the business, I still think there's a level of customer service in terms of like brand, right? In terms of how they can keep in contact with you. I think customer service is everything for a business. I think marketing, branding, I think all of that ties in with customer service. For example, if a customer calls your phone, I feel like it's however you answer that phone, if you hello, or you're in a good mood, bad mood, if you say whatever you say, that's immediately you get into customer service because you're starting off that whole brand experience. Because this is what a person is gonna kind of expect, you know. So I really think with customer service, now there's levels to it as well. Some companies, larger companies, they will have a quote unquote customer service department that I hate. For example, like Sprint. I just experienced recently, my phone went off. I had some trouble with my phone, and every time with Sprint, I always got to talk to at least 4 different people.
So they cut your phone off, and
Well-
now they got bad customer service.
Well, they didn't cut my phone off. I just had a technical issue with my phone.
Okay.
And so I'm just trying to get it repaired. And man, it was just having to wait on the phone for that time, and then people that's not speaking, it's like they're not trying to really answer my question. They're asking all these other questions that's irrelevant. It just was a horrible experience for me.
So they were outsourcing the service to.
Guess what?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when people actually answered the phone and not, you know,
Exactly.
not
a
the prompts.
robot.
Remember that, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a
That was an
robot.
awesome time. I'm like, I was like, who is this? Like, what?
Well,
like it was just like a shock. Like, are you kidding me? So
Well, let's talk about that because that's the culture where things are going, and we say that on
We
the,
know a
on,
different
on the
time.
phone, but then when you go into our grocery stores, they have where you have to check yourself out. When you go to a teller, to a bank, you have to actually, you know, when everything before used to be a human experience, when you go and have this exchange when it comes to business. So we have actually let these corporate entities shortchange us on customer service because of their bottom dollar. Meaning, like if you don't have to pay nobody because it's automated, then of course, and then when it comes to that, it comes with benefits and time and all that good stuff that a company has to pay. So we have, as consumers, allowed this process to continue to happen, and now they're just going with it. And the human experience of people talking to people and having good deductive skills, like to know exactly, okay, how do I treat this person? Because obviously I hear their tone is not good. So you can adjust. Something that is automated cannot do that, which of course hurts a person.
Well, I was going to say, in a very broad sense, we have gone down on the food chain in a way, you know, because the whole value of the human experience is getting lost, you know, and so that kind of, I don't want to get like super extra political with it, but
Go ahead.
it makes
Trump's
people.
in office. Get political.
I mean, not you, but
Can't help but get political.
it makes I guess only those who, and this will bring us back to customer service too. Ding ding ding. I get 2 points, but it brings us back to the people who are actually participating in things like customer service really standing out, you know, because people will be craving that, you know. There's in the blessings of getting support from my family and all that kind of stuff is because, you know, when you're nice to people, people are nice to you. Basically, it's like old school. You know what I'm saying?
For the most part.
Well,
I
for
don't
the
know.
most part,
Some people take kindness for weakness.
but
and try to
some
run
will
over you.
stick around. You know what I mean? But the thing is like, I guess because we've come from a different time and place where, you know, people felt something about each other and were dedicated and all kinds. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's you know, what my son said. He said that you pretty much know that your friends are going to stab you in the back, and like the people that you date are going to cheat on you. Like that's basically the culture that they feel right now. My son, he's 18.
Okay.
He'll be going to U of I. Woo, woo. You know, gotta find that money, y'all. It's anyone who has any suggestions regarding getting
that
some
money.
grants,
Right.
some scholarships and everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for that right now. So contact me. The number is 312-753-5444. That's my business number. That's Salon Heaven. So ask for me, Kiky, and we can talk. But anywho, I forgot.
And also, if you got any suggestions too, immediately, please feel free to leave it in the comment section on the Fresh Air page, because other people might want to know as well. They might be experiencing the same thing.
Key
But-
Spice says CC360 has awesome customer service. Y'all got to check that spot out.
Shout out to our sponsors as well. Definitely CC360. Shout out to them. So back on the topic though, I think that is a great opportunity for business owners to be really enhancing that human experience. Because when we look at all this automation, I mean, in a minute, I see even 3-4 years from now, even truck driving and even industries like Uber are going to become somewhat obsolete with all of these new computer technology. And
While we're talking about this, leave some comments in the comment section on some, some spots, black-owned businesses, or just businesses in general, especially black-owned businesses that have good customer service.
Yeah.
You know, in Chicago, if you're watching from somewhere else, whatever city that's in, we can get on the positive side of things. So,
Yeah, we can champion that.
we can champion, so we can check out
I will
these
start
spots.
the movement. Okay.
Go ahead, start the
okay.
movement.
You know what? You know, my son even has this other movement. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But I just wanted to talk about that political thing and how, like, us going down on the food chain. I will liken this kind of to the Terminator or what have you, you know. But the fact is that after a while, they need to decrease the population, because if we're not having a lot to offer, then you're basically a consumer, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So therefore, certain cancers, certain ailments, and all that kind of stuff, but we have to, my point is that I can't stop that. The only thing that I can do right now is have good customer service. That's what I can offer to mankind right now, is to have, while we have this second half, and Kavan, you know what I'm talking about, to have a good experience. Be with the people who treat you good. You feel me? Nobody wants to be with the backstabbing individuals, because you say, okay, kindness for weakness, I don't fool with those kind. You know what I'm saying? If you're not kind to me, I don't have no place for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I live my life. And so therefore I treat customer service is all about going above and beyond, and that's what we do at Salon Heaven, at least while I'm there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just having the best pickings of what this world has to offer, because we pretty much all need the same things.
And it makes a big difference.
Like you're just eating, you know what I'm saying? We're just sleeping, we're working, we're hanging out with our friends. You know what I'm saying? It's just basically the places we frequent and the things that we need.
Customer service too is a great way to help your brand. It's a huge way to make your brand stand out in terms of that experience. I remember when I first got into the hair game, right? In terms of like hair extensions.
And you're a pleasant guy, yes.
Yeah, when we first got in, it was easy to make money. I mean, it was easy. People were just throwing money like left and right. It's just like, oh, you got hair? Like, it was easy. You didn't have to even have good hair. People were throwing money. But eventually, it became like any other industry. it becomes oversaturated because it's easier to get to the goods, right? So once that happened and became oversaturated, I had to switch up my business. They say in business, what gets you to a certain point is not going to get you to the next point. You got to switch it up. So one thing I started doing that was different is I really created more of an experience. So like with my clients, when they would come, I would have a real fancy setup for them, like in a salon, in terms of with the fancy mirrors. I had like the special spray bottle where we would spray like this perfume on the hair, like a shampoo conditioner on the hair, you know. And then
magic
Where was
trick.
this?
You know, this was at Lily and Dion Hair Salon.
Okay.
At downtown, near
Yes,
Salon
yes,
Avenue.
yes. I know Lily and Dion.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So, you know, it created it got to the point where some of my clients were saying, this is the bad mic, we got to switch my mics out.
Gotta get this customer service up.
Yeah, yo,
you know
check
what? I
1
just
2. Can you hear
Hey,
decided-
me?
leave those comments.
1 2 3 4.
Good customer service.
I've been over here all erect.
Share this to all your friends. Invite your friends to check this out right now. If you want to be a guest, let us know. But also, hey, Deli King,
That's
good
better.
customer service. I see. Another spot. You know, let's keep it going. We want to support these businesses. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No,
Jack.
all I was saying, it got to a point where once I created that new experience, I literally had customers returning into clients, like repeat clients, and they were giving referrals, way more referrals then. And they were like, they didn't want any random hair person. They wanted Dr. Jackson because I was their man. You know, I was almost like a family member to them.
Yes.
You know, and I created that space, and and eventually I started. I wasn't consistent. I started falling off, and I noticed it when my numbers was
That's-
falling off. So we had to pick it back up. So we back on
Your
it. now.
ego kicked
Yeah,
into
at
play.
least we know what we need to.
It wasn't even ego. What happened is sometimes with business, sometimes your business will grow so quickly. If you're not prepared for that
it's
growth,
taxing, right?
it can be taxing. Where now all of my energy was now into. I had so many customers, I didn't bring on someone else to help me, which is a lot of things I feel like we suffer in the black community.
Yeah,
Anita's
because we don't-
Gumbo. We here got some good customer service. Keith Spice says. You know, let's go.
All right, that's what's up.
I ain't never
So,
had it. Go
so
ahead.
let's get back to the question though. With we said support from family members. Jay, what's your take on getting support from family,
I mean,
on friends?
overall,
Should you expect it? Should you
expect it?
Did you expect it?
It should be expected, but should you expect it? No. I don't think you should expect it because if it's something you really want to do, you know, sometime initially you're not going to get the support from those that's closest to you. You know, you might have grew up with them. You know, I mean, because I guess those people have a sensitive spot in your heart. So, you know, it can be a cousin or a family member, a friend. They may tell you something, or you all may not see eye to eye. And so if they disagree, boom, you know, if you're that tied into them, you know, your dream is out the window because you're down and depressed. Oh, cousin Willie doesn't support me or my sister doesn't support me. So, I mean, they should in essence, but overall, you know, if you're going into business thinking everyone's going to support you, you know, you'll be out of business soon.
Immediately, yeah.
You know,
It's all about
so-
the market, yeah.
Yeah, you know, so.
Yeah, and you have to eventually grow. What we finna mention something?
9 out of 10 times, though, if you got a good idea, there's people out there. If it's a good idea and it makes sense, you know, and you see there's a lane in that market, they will support you. You know, then the family and friends, they may not see your vision right away, but they'll catch up eventually. You know, if they need to.
I think it's important too to have a level of consistency, because what I learned for me is if my family doesn't know me for doing a certain thing, like being an expert in a certain area, then it's hard for them to support. I don't know why oh my gosh. See, that goes Sprint again. I told y'all to Sprint, and I'm gonna have to call them back.
Go ahead, Kiki.
Yeah. So no, all I was saying was so it got to a point where sometimes you have to be consistent, right? If your family doesn't know you for selling a certain item, right? If I'm selling, like, I've never sold a cell phone, I don't know anything about technology, but my family knows me for a person that's just not doing good things. And then all of a sudden I started selling cell phones, and I only do it for 2 weeks, and now I'm selling something else 2 weeks later, and then I'm selling something else, you know, and I'm not consistent. And that's what I went through. I was selling a lot of different things, And I can see why people stopped supporting me because they was like, man, you know, you always
The multi-level marketing days.
exactly.
That's how I know Action Jackson from the MLM. About 10 different businesses we were in together.
Yeah.
Shout out to Boss Boom.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Boone, definitely. But it's a big difference, I think, when you can show consistency with something. When people see that you're not going to give up and you've been doing something for so long, eventually, usually they'll give you some type of support, a family member. And if they don't, hey, just keep it moving. You know, keep it moving. But eventually, they're gonna have to support you. They usually, you know.
Well, I think, and not even, remember we talked about like having people helping babysit, helping,
Right.
you know, giving pats on the back and things like that, even just saying positive affirmations to you. But there's also, are they shopping with you or what have you? You know what I'm saying? Know a lot of people and all that, you know what I'm saying? So we have a salon, you know, we have things for people's body, like, you know, we wax, we know, we do massage, you know, nails and all that kind of stuff, you know? So you kind of, you know, my husband and I, we were kind of like, and by the way, you know, we're gonna say common law husband anyway, but but we will say, yeah, we air everything. I'm very, very honest, but we were kind of like, surprised at the lack of support or what have you. But what I find over the years is that if somebody knows you and knows you have that business, you're in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? So not necessarily they may not be patronizing you. You know, like I'm not patronizing you. I'm sorry. What is it? Supporting. No. Like being a patron.
Being a patron, yeah.
Patronizing.
Right,
Patronizing. Okay, I'm thinking of patronizing, like, you know, you're getting on my nerves. What's that? Yeah. I think it's like a double.
But you know what?
Patronizing. What is it? Anyway.
We get it.
Okay. So anyway, so even if they're not patronizing you, you're still in their minds and their mouth, and you know they're still spreading the word that, oh, you know, he has so and so. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes you feel good to have friends who are doing great things and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of like say, oh yeah, they got it. You know, they got it going on. They got this place and all this kind of stuff. So they're spreading the word. So they're supporting you in that way. So I'm just saying, so don't take it personal. That's all I'm saying.
In some cases, my experience, not all the time, but some cases, I would prefer not to do certain business with my family members because I've had some people who I love and I respect, but sometimes they want like special deals or special hookups that almost will put me out of business, especially at the beginning. You know, and I feel like sometimes the people know you and they close to you, they may not value what you do as much because you're so close to them, you know. And I've had people who've got some of my, you know, my products. I've had people who bought hair from me in the past, but they was close to me, and they wanted to complain about every single little thing they could because they could, you know.
I guess.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
15 years, right?
Can I speak right
Go
now?
ahead.
Okay.
Go
I'm
for the
sorry.
gusto.
I just want to, because this brings me to our second word, fringe benefits. So you're basically your family wanted some extras, you know what I'm saying, like the fringe benefits that come, which ironically has a lot to do with the customer service piece, you know. And I guess when you're doing a service like of service, a customer of not really like product.
We're talking about product,
but like,
yeah.
Product, yeah, but like of service. The thing that you want to have is like some extras. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
whatever you do, you know what I'm saying? So really, you know, you want to have your customers have those fringe benefits. That's the other word that goes with customer service. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, want to be treated like extra special, you know? So that's what we have to do these days.
Key
I'm
Spice,
just saying.
Key
Yeah, that's
Spice
very
says
important.
his family was the only place he can get a loan. Banks wouldn't deal with him.
Good job. Yeah, that was what you about to say.
That's what Key Spice said. The brother just called in. You know, so after 15 years, how did you keep that going?
What did he say? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
K-Spice.
Key Spice, right? The brother just called in. How have you maintained yourself down there after all? How long you been down there again? You said for
12 years.
12 years. Okay, that's a nice stretch.
Yes, it is.
You know,
It
a lot
was
of businesses go out of business in the first year.
Hold on, let me tell you something. How crazy my situation was because 4 boys, 2 years through 14 years old. Okay, 15 employees. I told you the house that we were working on and everything wasn't finished. Still paying workers and buying materials and everything. I almost said something. Okay, but anyway, It was right after the freaking economy crash. It was 2009. So 2008, we started losing our clients like slowly. People who were coming every week were now coming once a month, perhaps. You know what I'm saying? So like the degradation of the economy happened, and then Julian passed. So I had like 2 crashes of my economy. You know what I mean?
So
Lost
you
about
owned
120
properties at that time too? Or?
Yes, owned property at that time, but at the same time, it wasn't being rented out. We had a $1,900 a month
Mortgage?
Like our overhead was like $13,000 to $16,000 per month. That was our overhead. You know what I'm saying? With the rents, all rents included. That one place that wasn't finished, it was like at $1,900 a month. You know what I mean? Plus we're buying materials. Plus we're paying people to work on it. You feel me? So imagine me being in the midst of that with 4 kids, all boys. Okay, mind you, he just took a paternity test, and 15 days before that, an additional child who was at the time 18 years old. So now he celebrated his 27th birthday like 2 days ago on February 13th. Okay, so anyway, his name is Kiky. Anywho, but they're wonderful brothers, and they really love each other as brothers. It's like a story that went upside down, turned right side up, or what have you. So you asked how I was able to survive. Lord through God, okay? Like I've been blessed. Like I don't even know how. Like my accountant was like, "How are you making these payments?" She was like, "Are you dancing?" And I was just like, "No." I said, "You're a Bible banger, aren't you?" I didn't say that really, but I was just like, I said, "You believe, don't you?" And I said, "Aren't you a believer?" Like it was God, like that. So she, it's like funny because she was thinking like, "How are you making it?" Because it's not adding up what's happening right here. So I don't know how.
You had cash flow.
Well,
robbing Peter to pay Paul to some degree.
Well, I'm saying it was God. I'm just gonna leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't dancing, way too hairy for that. But I'm just saying.
And I want to bring that to a good point since you're talking about spirituality. Like I found in business, sometimes you just got to take that first step. And you don't know what's going to happen. You take that first step, and then after you take the first one, then take the second one, and you find a way. But most people don't even take that first step in business.
Walking like that, put one foot in front of the other. Like so you be walking across the floor. Anyway,
and if you put yourself in, that's an old school track right there. If you put yourself in a position where you gotta either sink or swim, you're gonna win. Like, cause sometimes I'm not judging anybody's situation. Sometimes people work a job or something, and they really want to work full time, and they want to lead a job, but they just never take that step. But sometimes when you take that step, you put yourself in a position where you ain't got no choice but to make it happen.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone out there who was in business and they probably couldn't see the light of day and were thinking about giving up?
I would say my point would be, which is kind of strange, but you might get in this rut of I'm being overwhelmed. You can't see straight. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of like, what do I do? I'm going to be a huge proponent of is really your attitude, and you really have to stay in this bubble of you may have to go have some fun. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like Kiky, all work and no play. I can't open my mind and just see the beauty in life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to say it's about your attitude. The thing is that that would be their best ally in this situation,
Attitude.
because is your attitude basically, and it goes along with customer service and just continuing to be the best person you can be amid all of the chaos around you, because it's just a test. You feel me? So I would say, people can say like, don't give up, but how do you not give up? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that's the key. I mean, I have a few other, suggestions and weapons and all of that kind of stuff, but I've been blessed with the form. You know how when people like see that video, The Secret or something like that, the book and all of that. Right. Yeah, all of that, it kind of, I guess, clicked for me. you know.
So-
And it's
What do you draw your inspiration from? Like films, books, documentaries, prayer, or the whole shebang? I mean, surround itself with good people.
Well, I say just living an kind of wonderful, extraordinary life, I suppose. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't even know how to explain it, but when people they say, "Well, I watch this show," and I'm like, I don't have time to watch shows because I am the show. I'm living
Right,
the show.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like my life from day to day.
Your life is a movie.
Like, you know, I'm living it. That's what I draw
constantly
my-
living a dream.
Live
Yeah.
your life. No,
Yeah,
lesson
live
number
your
one,
life
right.
and live it to the best of your abilities with a great attitude, you know, being kind to people. I mean, it's just is a few simple principles, and we can answer some more questions. You know what I'm saying? I know we
drop
probably
your
got
questions in
time.
the thread, brother Kavan.
Yeah.
And so one of the other questions we had from Keisha. We had Keisha who has a waist training business. She said she wants to start. She went in business with her friend, but then her friend was I guess her friend was playing, like, not committing to the business. And she said, why do so many businesses fail that are basically friendships that are based in friendships? I guess that's what she's saying. People that when friends go into business, why do those businesses fail, or what are some of the things we could do to prevent friendship to keep alive? Well, and what I'll say is, first of all, when it comes to friendships, I think one is first having some clear communication on, like, what's the expectations for the business, you know, and who's going to be playing what role. And I think having some really clear communication, I guess, on how people are going to be getting paid. Because a lot of people, their partners even, usually the reason they go out of business is because of, you know, there's some money issues or lack of communication issues.
Well, I think that most people are out of practice with going down that road of being in business with each other. Personally, y'all can get along just fine. Perhaps because it's common interest that you guys have. You have things that you can talk about, and there's no really skin in the game that's going to be a win or lose situation when it comes to friendship. When you get into the business aspect of it all, then, like you said, Dwayne, we have to find out who is the strong point in any and every episode within the business. Be truthful about it. Understand that neither one of you guys are going to know it all, so it should be an opportunity to put things on the table and not be so attached to your feelings and emotions. And also, when you have friendships before business, sometimes people know each other's character before they get into business, and sometimes knowing their character clouds your judgment when it comes to them. Meaning, I've had friends that they can be lawyers, right? But I play basketball with them. If I play basketball, I'm looking at them in a different light than if I have to turn around and ask them for services. So do I turn my attention to, okay, let's treat this person like somebody I hired, or do I treat him like somebody I just played basketball with yesterday? That distinction sometimes is hard for individuals to actually balance. That's one thing. Second thing is the fact that we out of practice when it comes to our community and our culture dealing with each other on a business scale. We have been so involved in having jobs all our lives and our parents that we are out of practice with coming together and finding out what is the common interest for both you guys, and what is it that you want to do collectively to create some kind of synergy to move forward. If you're like you said, your parents ain't involved in it, your community's not involved in it, then most times you don't have examples. So you going out there with a blueprint that is no blueprint. All you got is the love that you have for each other, and that's sometimes not gonna get it.
Yeah, and I think it's levels. I'll let you talk to it. I think it's levels to it, because you just took me back. I started my first business when I was 12 years old, and we were 12, and I started with a group of my friends, but we were just having fun though. We were doing stuff that was fun for us, and so it wasn't so serious. Whereas, like, if we didn't make money, it really didn't matter. So I would say, if you're like a younger person that just
wants to experiment with entrepreneurship, you got an idea and you're doing something with your friends, I say definitely go into it, but make sure that y'all have some clear roles and responsibilities and stuff is written down. You got to write stuff down. Y'all got to have agendas. Y'all have a bylaws and say this is what our mission statement is, so stuff is clear and everybody knows their strengths. Of this is what you gonna do, this is what I'm gonna do, so nobody's stepping on each other's toes.
And what's the end game? What's the results that you want? If something is not coming out for whatever reason, and if you wrote it down, then you can go to that date, to that time, to that space, to that place, to be like, look, we wrote this down. This is what we agreed on initially, right? On this day, on this time. That did not happen. Let's go back and find out why it did not happen. So it's not anybody's fault. It's basically, let's find out what went wrong or went right.
An exit strategy.
True.
Right. You need one.
Because your friendships they more important than just the business. It's rare if you can find a lifelong friend, especially. Kiky.
Okay, I want to say also that it's important. It would be great to have someone who holds you accountable. In my situation, it was my mother. It would also be someone to mediate. Or like right now, it's my brother-in-law. It happens to be a brother-in-law. You know what I'm saying? It's Julian's brother. So I have, in even Julian and my union, we would come to points where we would have to like draw the line in the sand. You know what I'm saying? And so she was someone who was unbiased.
Or
basically.
soundboard.
Yes, exactly. So we can petition to. And like right now, my partner and I, we have somebody, we could both talk to. You know what I'm saying? So,
So tell me this. Did you grow up with a strong relationship with both of your parents?
No. Mm-mm.
No, you didn't?
No. I have a stepfather, and I hardly, I didn't know my father. I saw my father. I didn't hang out with him, so he was like in the proximity, like we were in the same neighborhood basically back when there were neighborhoods. And quite ironically, this is a crazy story, but anywho, never mind. I'm like,
Tell the story. Tell the story.
Anyway, my father, stepfather, same neighborhood. Can't explain why my father wasn't around or what have you. You know what I'm saying? It was like a homie thing. My mom was all coveted. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like, yeah. But anyway, he was around, but not close. Stepfather. Oh man, they call him Big T. They call my dad Bosco. These are like the kick-ass dudes in the neighborhood, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my father, my stepfather, and everything. So they're the tough guys. Right?
I asked because, not to cut you off, but I asked because I see it seems like you have somewhat of a culture, a lot of experience of like keeping the family intact with business, which is great.
Yes.
And I'm just curious about, the upbringing and like,
what's the background on the why Kiky? Why does Kiky think this way? Okay. Well, yeah, so they're tough guys, but at the same time, it kind of explained why my dad quite didn't participate or wouldn't, like coming by the house and stuff like that. Probably would have got his ass kicked. I'm just saying, okay, it may have been like a little bit of friction there,
I got you.
From the neighborhood. So I've gathered this as I was. I didn't even know, but I wondered why my dad was like not around. It was kind of like I didn't find this out until I was literally having the most pain of my life. I had a miscarriage, and my mom, in order to soothe the pain that I was feeling at that, like it was like childbirth, but the hospital wasn't opening until a certain time, and it was kind of like, do we call it? I don't know. Anyway, it was kind of like grin and bear it. I'm only maybe 2 months or something like that, So how how it's kind of like you lost the baby because you're bleeding or something. No, this was something that passed that was like fairly ridiculously large. And what was crazy about it? That my mom kept me calm by telling me this crazy ass story about like how my dad tricked my stepdad because he had a child by the first mother, you know what I'm saying? And so ironically, both of their names happen to be similar, what have you, both, anyway, we just to protect the private, anywho. But she was kind of fat, my mom said, so they pretended like my dad and this baby mama like pretended like seriously they pretended like she was pregnant again, you know what I'm saying, but she was like fat, you know what I'm saying, like so my mom broke up with him, you know what I'm saying, like basically, and then so later she started dating like my father or what have you, you know what I'm saying, so it's kind of like this little trickery that happened.
You bring me to one last
a wild story.
You bring me to one question before we begin to wrap up. One last question I got for you is, when you're in business and you're dealing with a lot of stress, right, whether it be from family or whatever, what would you recommend that some people do to deal with stress and entrepreneurship in this day and age right now?
Well, like I said, have fun. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know I was telling this like wild story and everything, but what I'm saying is that real life happens, and it there's an explanation behind why things weren't as they were. You know what I mean? So as for the familial feeling that I have, my dad was around, but you know how you don't hang out with someone or what have you, around, loved me and all that, but as far as having a close relationship, it was kind of like just having a main father figure or what have you. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like that was something that was not there, and sometimes not there for a lot of people, basically. But I have a wonderful mother and a wonderful family, stepfather. So
I think one good takeaway then for some people who are watching, like even if you come, everybody's family, we all go through something. So even if you coming from a family where you don't get support, or a family where you feel like sometimes you just feel like you wish you was adopted, you still can be very successful, and Kiky is a perfect example of that, because she's been on business for over 12 years, working with family. But I want to begin to conclude, because we're getting ready to wrap up. And I just want to, do we got any major announcements that are coming up? I know we got the Gentrified.
Oh, yeah, Gentrified screening this Saturday, February 18th, here at Washington Cultural Center. If you don't have your tickets, make sure you get your tickets, because you know how we do it.
Where can they get the tickets at?
Online, cultureconnection360.com, or You Will Be Moved. I think it's .org. So make sure you get your tickets. So if you saw the film 7 a.m., it's in the same vein as 7 a.m. It brings as much information as Hidden Colors, Urban Kryptonite, Elementary Genocide. All those are great documentaries as well. So over at the Harold Washington Culture Center this Saturday, 6 p.m., make sure you get your tickets for that. Also join the 300 group every Thursday at Reds. Support black-owned businesses. We got a special thing next Saturday, too, for Dilla Day. It's an extension of Dilla Day with 300 group, DJ Jeff the Illis. So check us out, the 300 group. What you got coming up, Kiky?
Well, we have, of course, great services. I want to also offer for those who don't feel that their family supports them, because we talked about family support. We talked about
we're gonna start a hashtag.
friends supporting and everything like that. I have a formula basically for people to be successful in business, and is almost a network. You know what I'm saying? I call it a 70-30 principle, and it's basically where you can grow and build your business with other people, basically, and share in the almost like a co-op, basically, where people bring their businesses together and they can invest together in order to grow something that's larger.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's almost like if you want to do it's kind of a way for people to be able to save together for something that's larger in life, that they can't do by themselves.
So how do they find out more about that?
Well, they can contact me at Salon Heaven, like I said, 312-753-5444. We're at salonheaven@gmail.com. And I'm, all about keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? I really wear my life on my sleeve, because I feel that if people can grow from my experiences, I want them to have the best life that they can, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So I'm full of customer service, great stories about life, you know, whether it's nice or naughty, and
Okay, we're gonna have to do that on the next show.
Really, you know, no, I'm serious. Like really living the best life you
Yeah.
can, regardless of anything that has come in your, you know, like any obstacles that come your way. You have to think of it from a different perspective. My whole point of the entire story was that sometimes you don't know what other people have going on in their life that prevents them from supporting you.
Mhm.
Put it like that, you
That's-
know,
that's really
because
important.
like your family may have their own agenda and not be able to be there, you know. There's also jealousy, there's greed and everything. And what I want to do is bridge the gap between people having problems with working with each other because they're not in their family or friends doing business
Right.
together, and any some type of way to keep it straight, because like you said, some people are going to do the lion's share of the job, okay, and that's where they come in with a
Yeah.
70, and then the other people who can benefit together as a whole, we call those the 30s. You feel me? And back in the day, do you guys remember when money was called what? 30s. You remember that, Kavan?
I don't know.
Hey,
I'm
watch
not that
out.
old. I'm
Huh?
not that
Telling
old.
my age.
30.
Oh yeah, I do remember. So you got them 30s, right? You got them
Okay.
30s. So yeah, back in the day.
As we conclude, one thing I do want to say about this is that the communities that are the strongest, they usually have strong relationships where they support each other in those communities, and that's first. So that's something for us to think about, is to increase our customer service, can work on our relationships, and then we can be able to grow. We can do a lot from there. But in terms of final words of events, make sure you subscribe to the Fresh Air Network on Facebook. Subscribe there. The contests are rolling too. If you want to be a guest on the upcoming show, make sure that you hit us up on the inbox or hit up the Fresh Air Network page so that you can potentially win our contest to be the next person to be sitting in Kiky's seat, and we can have a radical brainstorm.
I'm sorry, I completely forgot. We do a prom dress giveaway every year, by the way. We work with a non-for-profit. We have an etiquette class coming up in April for young teens, you know what I'm saying? So to learn how to be poised and everything. So we do a lot of basically things for the community. So please keep in touch. You know, we have a lot of events coming up that are fantastic. Thank
The
you.
Fresh Air YouTube channel too. If you missed it, you can catch it in its entirety on the Fresh Air YouTube channel. Subscribe to that page as well. That's Air with an E. Air with an E. Kavan, you got something you
I'm
want to talk
good.
about? You know.
No, I appreciate you. And it's the thing is, and I would like to say this too, is that you guys didn't know I knew Kiky, and you guys didn't know that we've known each other for as long as we have. But it also means that in Chicago, and every place really, you need to be cognizant on how you treat people, period.
Yeah.
We talked about customer service. That's, of course, an exchange of goods and services and all that good stuff. But you never know when somebody that you have dealt with in the past can turn around and be a catapult for your future. So I want to put that out there because, you know, Chicago is big, but it's small. We all know that. But it is good to understand that if you treat people with respect, and like they said, like you want to be treated, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a good life, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And other people are going to want to do business with you and be around you, period. So thank you, Kiky, for coming.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, all the support to Salon Heaven.
And
15.
tune in next week. We're here
15th
every
of
single Wednesday, 7 o'clock sharp. We will be here for the Radical Business Makeovers and Radical Business Brainstorms. It's going down next week. We have an awesome guest that's coming in. We're going to keep this show rolling. So, all right, y'all, make sure that y'all share this like us, and we're going to catch y'all next week. Did we have the outro video today or no?
You gotta get my finger wave done at Kiki's down there on.
I do excellent finger waves.
Yeah,
and
get
for
that
those,
butter
all
whip
those
down
who
there.
were wondering.
Speaking of that, shout out to
15th
our
and what?
sponsor.
15th in Michigan, 1505 South Michigan
All right,
Avenue.
go
We're
get-
upstairs. We're across from Old St. Mary Church, above Bella Bronze Tanzing Salon.
Okay.
And also shout out to our sponsors, Virgin and RemyHair.com as well. I know they
Chicago
doing some
Luxury
specials.
Motors over
As
there.
well as Lavish. We have Lavish Hair at Salon Heaven as well. So we have
The whole shebang.
yeah,
Right.
the whole shebang.
Okay.
All
Peace.
right, peace. We'll see y'all next week.
All right. Sib's Breakfast Club this Saturday. Check that out,
Mission
too.
in motion with the business radicals.
11.
The hottest mastermind group online. Watch live 360 marketing makeovers. The Connect 360 show. Make sure you share this video now. Share the live video now. Share the video now and enter your chance to win with the Business Radicals. The Connect 360 show.